For those of you who are just joining us that were on the live stream before, and I had my cat Tarky on my lap, he leapt off and he disrupted everything. So this could be an episode of That Darn Cat. So I am going to take it from the top. And Laura, thank you so much for being so gracious about this. And hello, everyone. We're back. Welcome to Petite to Queen's Claim Your Career Crown podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck, the Joyful Sales Queen. And I definitely needed joy today. And I'm joined by our very special guest, Laura Harstead. And Laura and I are going to be talking about what is virtual brand photography and why is it a game changer. And if you're an entrepreneur and looking to boost your brand, virtual brand photography could be just what you've been looking for. And I would love to tell you, please join us, subscribe. If you love the podcast, you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Now, I would love to tell you about Laura. So, Laura is a global virtual photographer who specializes in capturing the authentic joy of entrepreneurs across every continent. Laura brings a unique blend of creativity, warmth, and encouragement in every shoot, whether she's photographing a business coach in India or photography, taking photographs of a coffee truck in Minnesota or a book publisher in Australia, all virtually. Through her personal brand photography business, Laura helps business owners not only be seen, but truly see themselves by creating images that reflect their personality, purpose, and passion. So, welcome to the show, Laura, and thank you so much for being a good sport.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. No, that's life.
I know that darn cat, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'll sign up for that episode.
so Laura, what inspired you to get started?
Well, I've always loved photography. I've been taking photos my entire life, but it wasn't until about 4 years ago that I decided I wanted to make this my thing and really do this as a full-time business. And at the time, and I still am, I homeschool our two boys. So I was trying to figure out what can I do with photography but still be at home. And right around that time, I discovered virtual photography, and I had never heard of it either. I know most of you listening probably have no idea what that is, but once I heard virtual photography was possible, I knew that was the missing puzzle piece. I could photograph people all over the world from here, from my computer. My kids could be upstairs working on math or whatever they were doing and have a full-time business doing what I love. So that's really how it got started.
Well, that's amazing because really is combining the best of both worlds, right?
Yes.
So I would love to learn more about this. So how does virtual brand photography work? And what is the real benefit for entrepreneurs and business owners?
Yeah, so it's actually a really easy process. If you have a phone, you can book a photo shoot with me. So my clients, they download a free photo shoot app to their phone. And then for the photo session, we join at the same time. And when we're in the photo session together, I can take pictures through their phone. And so their phone is sitting on a tripod. I'm sitting here at my computer. They're somewhere around the world wherever they wanted their brand pictures taken, and that depends on what story they wanted to tell through the photos. And they can hear my voice during the photo shoot, so I'm guiding the entire time, finding great lighting wherever they're located, helping them pose, talking through things, and really just having a blast. We have a lot of fun, lots of laughter, and I love how you call yourself joyful. I am also a fond, I just love the word joy. That is my favorite word. So we connect on that. And so it's like I'm in the room, but they just can't see me. And then the
Yeah.
photos download to my computer. They're not sitting on your phone. You don't have to go through them. And I go through, pick the best ones, edit them, and send you a beautiful gallery. And then you pick your favorites and go from there. And then you have these amazing brand images for all of your marketing needs.
Wow. That does sound really simple. I love the fact that you walked us through the process. And you didn't really cover. Obviously, I can sense that one of the benefits is that, you know, you can be in your space, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's a food truck in Minnesota and you're out there doing the thing and you got your And you can probably, I imagine you can move the tripod around.
Yes. So I highly recommend that my clients have a friend or family member helping out so they don't have to run back and forth and make those adjustments. They can just relax, smile, that's their only job that day. And then their assistant is the one following my instructions, maybe running to grab the props that we already planned on, and they're the ones moving around, but the client can just relax.
Yeah. And so the benefit is that it can be done, obviously virtually. So it's a much, there's all the advantages of that, but also that it can also be like in their environment,
Mhm.
and what is authentic for them.
Yes, and that's part of the planning process before the photo shoot. I really get to know my clients and their business and just dive into, what makes them unique, what are they passionate about, what's their personality, what do they want people to experience when they work with them, and then we map out. I plan a lot of things before a photo shoot. I have long lists. I have images as inspiration, and everything is set just to really capture their story and let people see who they really are. And so I think what my clients appreciate is really that in-depth process. And a lot of people have told me that going through the questionnaire that I send them and the conversation that we had, it just gives them even more clarity about their business and their brand as we dive into that together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that really tees us up about, um, because for some people, getting personal brand photography can be a real challenge, right?
Hmm.
Just getting scheduling time or doing this whole thing within a studio or having a photographer come out on location. But I'm could be putting words in your mouth. So what have you experienced of what is the biggest challenge that you're helping people overcome?
Yeah, I think part of it is just the accessibility being virtual. It really does open up all doors of where you are going to do the photo shoot, and you're not paying for me to meet you there. I don't charge travel. And so that in itself really does make it it works really well for so many people. It's just a lot easier than having to go somewhere else to get your photos or bringing someone to you. And the other thing, I think, I've just heard a lot of my clients say that they've had photos taken before, but they didn't really capture who they are authentically. And then they don't use their photos because they don't think it looks like them. And so I really work hard uh, to see people as who they really are and to capture that through images. So I think that's the other part of it. There are millions of photographers out there, and I think for me, I've just worked hard to get to know that person so that when they look at the images, they can say, "Wow, that's actually me." That you captured who I am, like, from the inside out.
Yeah, so I mean, you sort of just answered the next question that I was planning to ask you about, of, how does it make getting these brand photos easier? And I love the
Mhm.
fact that you were talking about being your authentic self and showing up. I mean, in the green room, we were talking about a conference I was just attended and that there was a photographer there, but they also had like a makeup artist as well.
Right.
And so sometimes when I see though, I mean, it's like you never look like that again, type of
Yeah.
thing. And so there's for me, it's like, well, this is who I am. This is how I show up.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
So
I talk about that too because so many people think they have to get overdone for their photo shoot, get their hair done, get their makeup done. But I recommend that people just pretend you're going out on a girls' night out with your
yeah,
best friends and you're just dressing up. That's the level because you want to look like who you are. And you don't want to have your photos look like this super glamorous person. And then you show up on Zoom and people are surprised to see, you want to look the same.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. And if anybody's tuning in, they'll see I got my hair cut really short, so that's a great thing. You can get your updated photos with your new look
Right.
at
With
any
every new
time.
hairstyle.
So, what should our listeners do who are interested in this idea of brand photography? what virtual, what should they do first? How should they get started?
Yeah, so I'm happy to jump on a coffee chat. I love talking to people. I love getting to know you, and it sometimes helps to talk through what does this actually look like? How would this work for me? So I would love to do that and just talk to you about it. And also on my website, I have information about how it all works. And I also have a brand questionnaire on my website that you can go through on your own and just dive into what is my brand? What's my brand identity? And it takes you through all of those questions. And that starts to give you an idea of how that could look visually. And then I help take that to the next level and capture that in images. So, really, I highly recommend that if you are just starting out in your business or are fairly new to it and you haven't really figured out your brand identity, that is a good place to start. What is your personal brand? And I teach a lot of classes about personal branding 101
Yeah.
because there are just those things you want in place. They are mostly invisible before you start doing the visible things like what's my logo? What are my brand colors? I need brand images. So first, let's figure out your brand identity and then add those visual aspects to it. So I love working through that process with people.
Yeah. So, Laura, is there anything you wish that I'd asked you that I haven't?
Well, I think one thing I do like to mention is so many people come to the photo shoot, and maybe you agree, most people don't like having their picture taken. And I think the reason for that is we unfortunately have become so critical of ourselves. And we've heard enough things in the world to make us think about ourselves in a way that is negative. And I want to flip that. I want people to know that there is truly only one of you, and somebody needs you and what you have to offer. And so it's so important to be visible, to show up, to be a light in the space that you have been placed in the world. So ignore any negative self-talk or just what the world is telling you, like you're getting too old, or you have a big nose, or you've gained 10 pounds. Surely you can't have your picture taken now. I hear everything, but I want to celebrate people where they are now, because look at the journey you've been on. A lot of people don't take the time to do that, to really look back and see what have I been through, the highs and the lows to get me to where I am today. Well, let's celebrate that. You are here and there's a reason for it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I think that's such a great tip, and really how that frames it up. And so, Laura, thank you so much for sharing what is virtual brand photography and why it is a game changer. Now, I know our listeners are going to want to know more about you and where they can connect and find you.
Yeah, so I'm on LinkedIn, Laura Harstead, and then also my website, lauraharstead.com. And I've got lots of tabs with information, the free gift, the brand identity blueprint, how a virtual photo shoot works. So you can find lots of information there. And it also has a contact if you want to schedule a coffee chat with me.
All right. Well, that's perfect. And I love the blueprints,
Yes.
so so thank you so much. And thank you to all of our listeners who tuned in and, went through the whole Tarky thing. For those of you on the live stream. And this has been such an informative discussion. And Laura, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you, Lynn. It was great being here today.
Okay, there we go. All right.